for the first time in a very long time, the lights are going to be on in the Emirates for a Champions League match. Porto or Arsenal versus Porto, the first leg, how it went. You considered a goal in the last minute. I think the last kick of the game, you considered a goal that meant that you are going to fight for it at the Emirates. So what do you expect? And I've seen you guys, you've had a history of losing against Porto away and then winning at home. Are you going to continue the same trend?
Yeah, I absolutely back us to win that game.
Yeah.
Maybe something like 3-0,
Uh-huh.
maybe 3-1 at the worst.
Yeah.
About the first leg, yeah, I think both sides performed really poorly.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really tough away game.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't manage to come out with something. I think that was quite unfair to us because nobody really played anything.
Okay.
Porto just got a really good goal.
Yeah.
It was a really nice finesse goal.
Yeah.
Being credit to them, but like Arteta just said in the presser recently,
Yeah.
come with all the noise and pray for Porto.
You're not going to be disappointed. Maybe the fans will be coming with all the noise, but they're going to be disappointed. The first leg, you remember, you didn't have a shot on target. Them, at least in the first half, they had one shot. I think they did have one shot that hit the bar. And then they scored, of course, at the end. And you say that you didn't say anything from both teams, but they had a defensive masterclass. You can also say that they had a good plan to execute to stop you from scoring goals.
Yeah, that chance that they got that hit the bar,
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest chance of the game.
Yeah.
They hit the bar twice in that single chance, both narrowly missing us. But if you just take out that chance, there was nothing in that game that could say like the game deserved to swing in Porto's favor, Arsenal's favor.
Yeah.
You can say it was a defensive masterclass, but from both teams because the attacks weren't really great.
Okay.
So coming into the second leg, I think we have one less forward in Martinelli.
Okay,
Martinelli is very dangerous on the counter. I think we should have needed that, but he's not available due to injury. So, but I still think we'll manage. Our midfield is so much better.
So much better than it was when you went there, because I think Partey will be back, or he play. I saw him come on yesterday, and I think he's a plus. Having Partey in the midfield sometimes as an option, even off the bench, is a good plus for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we lacked that midfield sub. I think we have I think Partey will start from the bench.
Okay.
Because his performances off the bench recently have not been very convincing. Then again, you can say he's been out for a while.
Yeah.
And the midfield is on form right now with Jorginho, Odegaard, and Rice really delivering.
Yeah.
And the Rice and Odegaard are really scoring goals. Yeah. Jorginho controlling the game. I think we have that.
Okay, now when you look at how these players have played, in fact, today we are recording this, but the game will be played on Tuesday. We saw yesterday Kai Havertz scoring a very important goal, a goal that gave you 3 points, went to top of the league. Now, what do you think about Kai? And as when he came from Chelsea, we knew that he's a guy who was performing and delivering in big moments. Do you expect him to make a difference against Porto?
I think Havertz is a good player. Mm-hmm. I've watched him since his Leverkusen days.
Yeah.
I would have taken him then, but personally, I wouldn't have signed him from Chelsea. Just being honest.
It's never too late.
He struggled for quite a few years. Yeah. They were his hardest. But right now, he came to a club that's alive in a title race. Mm-hmm. We can say he upgraded. Yeah.
He upgraded, yeah?
Yeah.
But you see, the thing is, he's come to a team that is organized, as you're saying, a team that has ambition, of course. They want to win the Premier League. They are in Champions League, and he's delivering in big moments. As I've said, he scored a very important goal yesterday. He scored also against Brentford in a fixture that we played in the first leg, and he's been instrumental to you. And now, of course, At Chelsea also, he had great moments. He scored a goal that helped Chelsea to win the Champions League. So that means also he was in a good team that won the Champions League. So you can make a case that he did not make many mistakes going to Chelsea because that one gave him a Champions League.
I would say his Chelsea transfer was a mistake. That he managed to somehow salvage it into winning a Champions League. I don't think that makes it any less of a bad transfer. If he had maybe stayed at Leverkusen or went to a better team, like
I remember that time. I think that season Real Madrid wanted him, but they dropped the interest after I think they secured. I think they didn't go for him because Chelsea was so much interested in him.
I think that will have been a worse move for him, because where would he play? Benzema was really balling at that time.
Yeah, so he was.
When he went to Chelsea, right now in the Premier League, I think he's equal his best record at Chelsea right now.
Not
8
really.
Premier League goals.
8 Premier League goals. Last time he got 11 Premier League goals. I don't know. It was 8 Premier League goals. Yeah.
Yeah. So when Havertz first came in, he struggled at the position where he was played at first. At sort of a left center mid.
Even right now, we really know the position that Havertz performs very well. Do you know a position that he does very well?
Since he came, I've always rated him as a striker, just somewhere around the front line. Right now, he's being played as a out and out striker.
Yeah.
The game in our last game against Brentford, where he scored, we saw his ability to get in behind.
Yeah.
And he scored. He scored a good header.
Yeah.
But he missed as well. So I think that his finishing is just something that he'll work on with time. But for now, his confidence is growing. His goal tally is growing.
Yeah.
His team is in 2 major competitions: the title race and Champions League.
Yeah.
And I back him to do better.
Now, you've talked about finishing, and about finishing, it's either you have it or you don't have it. Even though there are some of the players that we've seen in their career, they've improved. Like Benzema, when he was starting his career, he was not that good in finishing, but as his career progressed, he became very good. Don't you think that Kai Havertz maybe can learn from Benzema and some of the players who are also not very good in finishing? Luis Suarez, when he was starting, also was not that good in finishing, getting to good positions, trying to score, but he wasn't scoring goals as much. What do you think about? Do you think finishing is an attribute that you learn through your career, or is something that you can always improve on?
You can always improve on finishing.
Yes.
A very good case you can look at is Saka.
Yeah, Saka.
And Saka was starting out. He wasn't the best finisher. We just get in the good positions.
Yeah.
He started out as a left wing.
Yeah.
I would say left back when he was promoted, but he always knew as a forward.
Yeah.
So at left wing, he wasn't finishing that well, and his early days at right wing. I think the season he finished with 5 goals.
Yeah.
But he's really improved so much. This season he has about 13 goals.
13 goals to his name. I think 12. Because he didn't score this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can always improve that. Like Benzema, yes. I think that's a very good case.
Yeah.
Ronaldo in his early days, he wasn't that kind of clinical finisher.
Of course, he didn't play the positions where he was required to finish. He was more of a midfielder than a striker. So maybe you can make a case for Ronaldo also. He improved as his career went on, and he became a deadly finisher.
Yeah. And I think the only thing that Havertz lacks right now that really bugs me is the physicality. If you really want to be a striker for a team like Arsenal, you have to hit the gym,
You have to hit the gym. Yeah. His body is good because he has the height. He can always hit the gym and become a very deadly striker.
Yeah, he has the height. But when you look at how he wins his duels, he could use with more muscle.
Yeah.
He's kind of lanky on the ball. That he doesn't have the best control. He definitely has some pace, He can press really well.
Yeah.
So just improving his physicality, and I think he can make an ideal target man.
Can make an ideal target man. Now, what do you expect from that game? Now, give me the prediction. Like, how many goals? You said 3 goals.
3 goals minimum.
3 goals minimum. So you're going to go through to the next round of Champions League.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now let's now finish about Arsenal. You talked about Saka improving, but I saw him play against Porto, but we didn't see much from him. Do you think that he's learned from the mistakes that he did, or some of the shortcomings that he had in that match, and he gonna improve in this return leg game?
It will be unfair to judge any Arsenal player based on the Porto
match.
first leg game, because everyone was just off.
Okay.
From the keeper all the way to the forward.
Yes.
But when I say that we deserved a draw, not that we played good enough to earn a draw, but Porto played nothing either. They just scored at the end. So I back us to play so much better.
Yes.
So, this is also a home game.
Yeah.
We are unbeaten in our last couple of home games. I'm not sure.
8 games you've played in the Premier League. I think you've won all of them.
Yeah, and looking at that period when we lost to Porto, the Premier League game before that and the one after that, we scored almost 10 goals.
Yeah, 11 goals. We had 5 and 6 goals.
So it was just a shocking defeat.
Yeah.
But we'll be back.
You will be back. Now, the biggest question, are you going to win the Champions League this season? Now that you are one of the favorites to win the Premier League, and also you have a very good team, do you think you're going to win the Champions League? Because I've not seen so many teams. Of course, Leverkusens of this world are not in the Champions League, and the only informed team in Europe. Of course, Real Madrid are battling with their injuries. Manchester City, of course, they're always the favorites. Bayern Munich, they've not been great this season. Don't you think you have a chance to winning Champions League this season for the first time ever in your history?
First of all, that's wrong.
Yeah.
We've reached the final, but we just didn't win it.
Yeah.
The likes of Thierry Henry when we played against Barca.
Yeah.
But we should get to a decent position. Maybe quarters or semis. We definitely proceed to the next round.
Yeah.
And it will heavily depend on our opponents. So
definitely.
If you get someone like Real Madrid,
yeah,
I'm 100% sure we are outplay that team right now.
Yeah.
Whether or not we win, that's another question. Because that team has proven to be quite lucky, quite efficient
they have
in
some
the Champions League.
in them.
Yeah. We saw them
when
just
it comes to Champions League.
they just scraped by Leipzig.
Yeah.
I don't think they will do the same for us, but they're Madrid, so just give them a chance.
Okay, thank you so much for being with us on this episode. We talked about Arsenal. We've done the preview of Arsenal versus Porto that is going to be played at the Emirates on Tuesday. Of course, my brother, an Arsenal fan, has given his prediction, and he feels that they're going to get to the next round of Champions League. Thank you so much. Join us in the next episode as we'll be talking about other things.